The drone passes above a snow-covered forest, scanning between the trees. The area appears quiet, with no obvious movement. Shadows blend into the white ground below. As the drone moves on, a lone figure becomes visible among the trees. The forest provides visual cover from the ground. From above, the outline is clearly visible against the snow. The drone adjusts its line and begins the approach. The figure reacts and looks upward. An attempt is made to fire at the drone. The shots miss and have no effect. The drone maintains course. Moments later, movement in the forest ends. Two enemies remain near a ruined building. They stay close to the structure without changing position. From above, the area is fully exposed. Two separate drones strike in sequence and activity ends. The drone moves above a snow-covered tree line, scanning the narrow strip of terrain. A lone enemy is seen walking slowly between the trees. The snow makes every step visible from above. For several seconds, the movement continues without urgency. Then, the sound of the drone becomes noticeable. The figure reacts and looks around. Instead of changing direction, he moves toward nearby bushes. He lowers his profile and tries to remain still. From ground level, the vegetation appears to offer cover. From the air, the position remains clearly outlined. The drone adjusts its angle and holds a steady approach. The attempt to hide does not change the outcome. Moments later, movement in the tree line ends. The camera remains on the quiet, snow-covered planting. The drone flies low along a narrow road cutting through open fields. Weather conditions are poor, with dense fog limiting visibility near the ground. Through the haze, a quad bike comes into view, moving along the road. Several figures are visible on the vehicle. From above, the route remains clearly defined despite the fog. The drone maintains its line, adjusting slightly to keep the target centered. Movement on the road continues without deviation. Moments later, activity on the road is interrupted. The scene briefly fills with smoke and debris. In the final moments, footage from another drone appears. It circles the area at a lower altitude. The quad bike is no longer moving. Flames are visible through the fog as the camera pulls away. The drone observes a large trench cutting across the terrain. Inside, a lone enemy is seated and remains still. The depth of the trench appears to provide ground-level concealment. From above, the position is clearly visible and easy to track. No attempt is made to relocate or change position. The drone maintains a steady approach along the trench line. Moments later, activity inside the trench ends. The drone notices a lone enemy resting near a line of bushes. There is no movement or attempt to change position. From above, the area is fully exposed. The drone adjusts its line and closes in. The drone patrols the area above open terrain. The ground below appears calm and unchanged. A lone enemy comes into view, moving without cover. From above, the position is immediately clear. The drone holds its line and closes the distance. The figure looks up and reacts too late. An attempt is made to aim at the drone. There is no time to reposition. Moments later, movement on the ground ends. The drone follows a narrow stream cutting through dense reeds. A lone enemy moves slowly along the waterline. Tall vegetation limits visibility from the ground. From above, the route is clearly defined. The large backpack makes the movement heavy and noticeable. The drone maintains a steady approach. Moments later, movement in the reeds stops. The drone moves along a rural road, scanning the surroundings from above. The area appears empty at first, with no visible activity. A lone enemy comes into view, walking steadily along the road. There is no nearby cover or change in terrain. From the air, the route is fully exposed. The drone maintains a straight line and closes the distance. The figure continues forward without altering direction. Moments later, movement on the road ends. The drone surveys an open field with no natural cover. A lone enemy moves across the terrain at a steady pace. From above, every step is clearly visible. There are no trees, buildings, or folds in the ground. The drone maintains altitude and aligns its approach. The figure does not change direction or speed. Moments later, movement in the field ends. The footage documents the second day of continued assault operations in this area. By this stage, the pattern of enemy action is consistent and repeated. The attacking force operates without heavy armored vehicles. Instead, light cars are used to transport infantry toward the front line. These vehicles move along open roads and exposed approaches. From the air, every route is clearly visible. Drone surveillance begins long before contact with defensive positions. Movement is detected early, often while units are still regrouping. As vehicles advance, strikes begin at range. Many groups are stopped before reaching cover. Artillery fire supports aerial observation, targeting approach routes and staging areas. The footage shows repeated disruptions of movement. Attempts to advance become fragmented and disorganized. Some groups abandon vehicles and try to move on foot. Others attempt to disperse across fields and tree lines. The terrain offers limited protection. Ruined buildings and sparse vegetation provide only temporary concealment. From above, routes and positions remain readable. Drone activity continues to shape the tempo of the engagement. As the sequence progresses, attention shifts to a fixed enemy position. Here, infantry attempts to hold ground within damaged structures. At close range, a Ukrainian tank enters the engagement. The camera captures its operation from a short distance. Fire is delivered methodically and with clear timing. Each shot is followed by a brief pause to adjust aim. The proximity highlights the direct nature of ground combat at this stage. Enemy positions lose effectiveness under sustained pressure. Movement slows and then fades. No coordinated maneuver follows. The engagement transitions back to aerial observation. The second day of fighting highlights a broader pattern. Without heavy armor, mobility relies on speed and exposure. This leaves approach routes vulnerable. Drones and artillery dominate before close contact occurs. By the end of the sequence, activity decreases significantly. Roads are empty, positions fall silent. The footage captures one phase of a longer battle. It reflects sustained pressure rather than a final outcome.
Subscribe to the channel and leave a like.